friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Really quick, if you can hear the sprinklers outside my window, I apologize. They literally just turned on. We are going to do a little palette bingo on a video I posted last week. What was it called? It was like the products I regret buying video. I mentioned doing a multi-palette bingo with the Limecrime palettes, Venus 1, 2, and 3, and you guys seem to really enjoy that idea, so that's what I'm going to do today. I have all 3 of my palettes right here. They all have 8 shades. I'm going to take 2 shades from each palette, making it 6 shades total on my eyeballs. I don't know what we're going to get. We'll see. I absolutely adore the original Venus and the Venus 2. The color stories are so good. The shades blend so beautifully. I'm not disappointed in the least with those. I did mention the Venus 3 in my products I regret buying. Not necessarily that I'm angry about it, and I'm not going to declutter it because I like it being with the other 2. And it's not like a horrible palette, it's just not the same. And I mentioned that the shimmers are a lot more sheer and lackluster compared to the shimmers that are in the other palettes. And again, there aren't a whole ton of shimmers in these palettes, but these ones are just a whole lot lackluster. And one of you guys mentioned that I probably had a dud because yours are a lot more pigmented, and then someone agreed with me and said that theirs are lackluster too. But I was digging into these with my fingers yesterday trying to get good swatches. I was like, maybe I just have a hard pan. So I was digging to get into that pigment, and it was still like, it was pretty, but it wasn't anything revolutionary. Anyways, this is what the Venus 3 looks like. It's very pinky, romantic, it's cutesy. I did a bunch of Valentine's Day looks with that one, and I've done 3 looks 1 palette videos with all 3 of these. I'll link those 3 looks 1 palette videos down below. This is the Venus 2. This is my favorite of the bunch. It's just so grungy and earthy and beautiful. I love everything about this palette. It's so good. If I were to change anything, I would replace this orange with something because I just don't love orange eyeshadow. But it's not like it's totally out of place either. I'm sure plenty of people get use out of it. And then the original Venus. This is so pretty. This is also very grungy. It's very cool. I'm just really into these. Well, the first 2. And I'm excited to play with these together because I've actually never paired any of these palettes with each other. I've only worn them by themselves. So I'm excited to see kind of what color story we get. I just have my random number generator here, and I have it 1 through 8 for the first palette, and we got 7 and 5. So for the Venus palette, we are going to be using Icon and Divine. So far we have 2 mattes, that's good. Let's move on to Venus 2. We got 6 and 5. So for the Venus 2 palette, we got Fly, which I adore this color, and we got Jam, which is the color I said I don't love, but it's fine. It's not like it performs bad, I just don't love orange eyeshadow. Man, this is going to be such a neutral look as of right now. You guys have wanted to see neutral looks from me, including orange, so it's about to happen apparently. Let's go and check for Venus 3. We got number 3 and 5. 5 in every palette, okay. So in this one we got Heavenly, which I'll try to swatch it, but you'll be able to see it's not very exciting. And Ecstasy, which is a cool tone mauvey brown. See, you can kind of tell, like, this isn't like an insane shimmer. Like, their shimmers aren't outlandishly amazing, but this one's more of just kind of like a wet topper. It's not like an opaque shimmer. But regardless, this is what we're working with. It's browns, it's oranges. I'm not excited. But you guys do want to see neutral looks from me sometimes, so I guess this is just how it's gonna be. I'm going to prime my eyes with my Smashbox lid primer in light. I'm not gonna set it because I don't do that. Zoom you in and we'll get going. I don't have a plan at all as of right now, but I do know I'm just gonna go ahead and start with Ecstasy from the Limecrime Venus 3 palette. And I'm just taking that on kind of a tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna start working this in the outer corner and then through the rest of my crease. I want this just to be kind of my deepening shade for all of this. I want so bad for Limecrime to come out with more of these little 8-pan palettes because these are just, it's so good. Obviously I don't love the Limecrime Venus 3 as much as the original and number 2, but I just like the layout of them. I think it's the perfect amount of shadows. The color stories themselves are all genius. They're so pretty. And it's just so much more practical to carry around an 8-pan palette than a giant XL palette. I don't even know how many shadows are in those palettes, but it's just not what I want. And the little quads are cute, but I've never been so blown away by them that I would want one. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm now going to grab the shade Divine from the original Venus palette, and I'm just going to use that with a blending brush to help buff out the edge of this. Although this did blend out pretty easily, I don't necessarily need a transition shade to help blend this out, but it is a palette bingo and I have 6 shades to use, so we are going to make it work. I really want to try those new Limecrime blushes so bad, but I'm like overwhelmed with the amount of shades that they came out with. Like, it's amazing that they just went ahead and came out with so many shades because then literally everybody can find a shade for them. But I'm overwhelmed because there's so many choices, and I'll pretty much wear any blush. I'm not scared of anything. Even if it's too dark, I'll just use a lighter hand. So I want all of them, but I'm not about to spend the money on any of them. These two shades actually flatter each other really well. They're just on that same kind of cool tone spectrum, so works out pretty well together. So for my lower lash line, I think I'm going to start with Icon, and I'm just going to begin to start smoking that out right underneath, really close to the lashes. I'm just using one of these dual-ended Anastasia brushes. I'm using the packing side. I love these Anastasia dual-ended brushes. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion because most people don't really like the brushes that come in palettes, and for the most part I don't either, but these ones just, I don't know, I love them. I do not want to put an orange in with this look at all because it's so just deep and mauve-y and cool tone, and I do not want to add orange into this, but I also just really don't like orange eyeshadow on me. I don't hate it on me, but it's just my least favorite. I'm just going to use that first brush we were using with no additional product just to help smoke this out before I go in with my next color, which is going to be the dreaded orange. I'm so scared that this look is going to be too boring, but they are pretty much all neutrals, and you guys do ask for neutral looks on occasion. Not too often, thankfully, because I'll say no to everyone. I do get asked on occasion. I think this is still going to be really cute and grungy, though. I'm going to now take Jam, unfortunately, and I'm just going to take the blending side of that Anastasia brush. I only have a little bit on this brush, and I tapped it off to make sure there's not too much. And I'm just going to begin to smoke out this lower lash line with the Jam shade. I actually don't hate the way that looks, if I'm being quite honest. It mixed with that darker brown just makes it look, I don't know, just grungy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't have good words this morning. So I was trying to decide between doing Fly on my lid and Heavenly in the inner corner, or vice versa. And I think I'm gonna put Heavenly, the more sheer one, on my lid because I wanna try to make it pack a punch. And if I put it in the inner corner, you're just literally not gonna see it. And then I'll put Fly on the inner corner. So I'm just taking Heavenly from the Venus 3 palette, and I'm just gonna use my finger because, like I said, this shadow just does not really pick up well on a brush. So I'm just gonna try to lay this down. And I am putting a lot of this shadow on because I want it to pop. And it's really cute layered on, but I don't know if you can see what I mean. Like, it's not ugly. Like, I've never called this ugly, but it's not very opaque. Like, it's just kind of like a sparkly top coat. And I mean, it's fine, it works. But I would never call this opaque. I'm glad I put that on the lid. I feel like that's a cute little accent. And now I'm gonna take Fly from the Venus 2. I'm just gonna use my pinky finger because I'm lazy and don't want to dirty a brush. And this is gonna go in my inner corner. I love this shade so much. It's just such a unique, I don't know, shimmer. It's really cool. And I really like it. This is so neutral for me, but it's still not even totally neutral because there is that mauve-y essence to it. But I don't hate it. I feel grungy and it'll work. I will make this happen. And I'm gonna do the other eye now, and I'll put something on my lips, do my lashes, things like that, and we will wrap this video up. So this is the final look. I hope you like it. I actually like it more than I thought I was gonna like it. When I was doing the other eye, I was thinking, this isn't so bad. Playing with slightly more neutrals for once. But again, it's not even like a full-on neutral look. I feel like the average person would still think this is a little bit too much, but you know, it's very neutral for me. a little weird for me to be wearing it, but I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty and grungy and I'm about it. On my lips, I just went with Limecrime since we were doing Limecrime for the eyes, and I went with the Plushies liquid lip in the shade Cola. And I think it complements this look very nicely, and this is one of my favorite lipstick formulas of all time, so it was nice to bust it out. So what do you guys think of this look that I created? Did you like how I used the shades that I got dealt? Would you have used them differently? Do you like these palettes? Do you have them? Which palette of the three is your favorite? I would love to know. Let me know which palettes you want me to use in multi-palette bingos in the future. On my last multi-palette bingo where I used all the Jeffree Star palettes, a lot of you suggested I do Give Me Glow, so I might do that next. We'll see. Let me know what you want. If you enjoyed this multi-palette bingo, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. And if you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's beautbean. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe here before you leave. I post 5 days a week, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Let me know what videos you want to see on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. The sprinklers literally just turned on, and I just turned my camera on. Why?